As prosecutor Gerald Henderson addressed jurors today, he argues the defendant, Carl Gargarita, continues to change his recollection of the events that unfolded in the early morning hours of June 15, 2013.
How did Anthony die? Anthony died lying on the pavement behind a club at 2 a.m. in Tumon. He died as onlookers yelled and begged for the defendant to let him go, to let him breathe.
As we've been reporting, Anthony Garrilao is the ex-husband of Irene Garrilao. On the night of June 14, 2013, Irene had met with Carl Gargarita for drinks, where they later smoked weed and had sex in Irene's car. When Irene's phone rang, Gargarita answered, making Irene upset, prompting her to get up and leave. Gargarita and a friend followed after her to the back parking lot of the Old Traditions bar across the street. There, Gargarita and Irene made 2 phone calls for her ride, one of which was to Anthony. Shortly after, Anthony came to the scene where the 2 men got into a fist fight that continued on the pavement when Gargarita put Anthony in a chokehold and reportedly stopped breathing. Anthony died later in a hospital. Today, Henderson advises jurors to consider the defendant's story and how many times it changed from his initial interview with police to yesterday's testimony when Gargarita took the stand and demonstrated the headlock he used to hold Anthony down. While defense argues that Gargarita acted out in self-defense, Henderson argues Gargarita knew Anthony had already blacked out and that the additional 30 seconds he held onto Anthony's neck justifies his actions were reckless. While prosecution questions the reliability of Gargarita's testimony, Assistant Public Defender Peter Sablon asked jurors to consider that every person involved in that night's incident had a different version of that night's events, including eyewitness Kylie Heron, who testified earlier in the trial. Heron, who didn't know either of the men, was an unbiased witness.
We need to focus on the events. She saw the forerunner come speeding up to where they were at. Stop. She didn't even see, she thought the car didn't even come to a full stop. Some guy runs out of the car, starts charging at Carl, and starts throwing punches.
Sablon asked jurors to remember how the fight unfolded as they decide whether or not Gargarita should be convicted for the murder of Anthony. Jurors will begin deliberations on Monday. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.